Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by the English welterweight champion, Sam Antwi. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How you doing?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Coming off a very impressive win over Darren Tetley not too long ago.
Yes.
Reading the pre-fight comments, you didn't seem to know loads about him going into the fight. Was there anything once you got in there that
Yeah.
surprised you, or was it pretty much as expected?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised by anything. I think he did have a few more tricks up his sleeve in the first round. I realized, with the way he was works inside and little things like that, where I know it's okay. He's got a bit of experience. I knew he was a bit more experienced than I was, but yeah, nothing surprising. Still went through the same process, feeling out process in the first round. Well, it was kind of a feeling out process, but yeah, no surprises. We just stuck to the game plan, and yeah, we got him out of there.
Good stuff. Now, this is your first time, I believe, on Seconds Out, so we really want to delve into the
Yeah,
backstory if we can. So, first of all, maybe just tell us a little bit about how you first got into boxing and your amateur career or the highlights of it.
yeah. So I, I always had a love of boxing from a young age. I remember um I had a neighbor who would come outside, an older neighbor, and he'd come outside and ask us, "Oh, what do you guys want to be when you grow up?" And things like that. And I would always say a boxer. I'd never been to a boxing gym. I had no idea how to box, but I always had the idea I would be a boxer. And I never really got into boxing until the age of probably about 16. And even then it wasn't competitive. I just done it. I went to the gym with my school. My school had something called a sports academy, and they had basketball, all these other things on there, and boxing. And I know it was boxing, and I said, "Oh, do you know what? I'm going to do that." And done a couple months with my school. Then unfortunately I had to go off to college because I was right at the end of my school where they started this program. So there about 6 months of training. Really enjoyed it, really loved it, and then had to go off to college. Had to stop all of that. Probably about four. It took about 4 years for me to come back to it, and actually have my first amateur fight. And actually start training again. So it was a bit of a uh, it was a weird one, because the love was always there, but I don't know where it came from. It just out of nowhere, and it took me until 21 to have my first amateur fight. I went 20, I think it was 23-1 as an amateur. I lost my very first amateur fight, and I won everything else after that. I done the novice championships. I won the novices in my first year, and then the next year I won the development championships. In the year that I won the development championships, James Toney was actually in London doing prize fighter. He was here with his manager, James Arthur, and he came to see me fight, in one of the, I think the London finals. And he said, "Do you know what, when you guys are ready, come over to the States and do some training with us." And as soon as I won the development championships, I was like, "Yeah, we're going." And we flew over to the States, and that's where we started our pro career.
Yeah, you had your first 3 pro fights in the States and then one in Ghana, but it was a bit stop-start, it seems, at first. You had kind of a year
Yeah,
in between fights a couple of times. What was the
yeah,
issue? Was it just
yeah, yeah.
difficulty getting fights?
It was management. So after having the first three fights in the States, I was out there with Paul and Isaac Dogbo. Um, After that, I had to come back to England, obviously, for a while, just see family and everything. And there was a fallout with the management in the States, so we ended up coming back here, not doing anything for a while, and then we decided to go to Ghana to fight, to do a promotion over there. So the next year, thankfully, we got out there and started. We had one fight out there, and then again, things was going rocky with the management. So it was just not having the right team built. I think everything was kind of learning on the job as a professional. So yeah, it was very stop startish. But I never stopped training. I was always in the gym, always learning. So I don't feel like I had fallen behind or anything. If anything, I had progressed and gotten better in that year, in those years. I had it's not been a long time boxing, but I believe I can hang out. I can hang in the ring with people that are champions, people that are fringe world level, and I've been seeing these things in sparring. Because the whole time, even though it was stop-start career, I never stopped training.
Now, you've only had one defeat as a pro out in Zimbabwe, and I was reading about it earlier. You did a piece a year or two ago with John Dennon for Boxing News, and it just sounds like you were treated pretty horrendously out there. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Oh man, it was literally a living nightmare out there. It was just one thing going wrong after the other, and you know, we came away from it unscathed, uninjured, you know, without even a scratch on my face. But my coach was like, he could see with everything gone wrong inside and outside of the ring. He could see me in the ring, and it was like, you know what, he's taking me out of there. And he shouted to the ref to stop the fight. And even though I wasn't hurt, even though I was gutted at the time, you know, on the plane back, we was like, you know what, they just done us they done us dirty out there. We live and we learn, you know. I never took it to heart so much that the fight got stopped. But you know, after that, you know, opportunities just kept coming. You know, I think having that one on the record gave people a little bit of gave people a bit of confidence going into fights for me now. And you know, they had to learn the hard way.
So is it true they got you to go round for a visit before the fight, and you were handed a baby to hold, and then you ended up being really sick after that the next day?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. They planned all these so-called press tours. There was never any press there. There was just there was just us going, leaving the hotel and going to these places. Yeah, exactly. And they said, "Oh, you got to do this if you want to fight. This is to build the fight, you know." But there was never any press there. But we said no to the majority of them, and they said, "You know what? You're not going to end up fighting if you don't go on these things." So we went to an orphanage. We all got off the bus. You know, was all getting off the bus, and then there was like, as soon as I got off the bus, I was like, "Oh yeah!" They just gave me this baby. The baby wasn't crying, wasn't nothing. It was just quiet the whole time. I think the baby obviously wasn't well as well, and yeah, we just done the press. I can't call it press there. We just done the day there. Came back, wasn't feeling that great. The next day, I was feeling even worse. And you know, I got this warrior mentality where, you know, even though things were going so bad out there, there was even a apparent fire or something like that happened. We had to leave our hotel rooms probably about maybe 12 o'clock, and then we didn't even get back into about 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, we're just outside the hotel. You know, one thing kept going wrong after the other. The guy didn't turn up for the weigh-in. He didn't weigh. You know, our weigh-in was probably about midday. He didn't turn up until probably about 9 o'clock. They still weighed him and still said, "Yeah, it doesn't matter." So I was like, you know what? But you know, this war mentality where we're saying we're not coming all the way out here to Zimbabwe and not fighting. You know, we had time and chance again saying, "Joe, this isn't right. We're not taking it." But you know, warrior mentality, we took it anyway, and yeah, it's an experience.
But since then, things have really looked up. You've beaten, you know, Sia Osgood, Jez Smith, most recently Darren Tetley, Southern Area title, English title. What's been the key to that? I don't want to say changing fortunes because you weren't doing bad before, but for stepping up the quality of opposition and succeeding.
It's people taking fights now. You know, that one on the record. That one on the record is going to give people that confidence boost. You know, they're going to say, "Okay, yeah, he's beatable," and they're going to try and they're going to fail. You know, this is I wouldn't say it's been a change of luck. It's just literally having that one on the record. Now we've got obviously Dave Codwell on the team, and he's doing an amazing job. As soon as we got our contracts through, he had a fight for me, you know, and this opportunity for the English title obviously came with Dave Codwell as well. You know, he's got really good links in the boxing industry, and yeah, we're going to see how it's going from now. And now we've got the English title, we're not letting go of it. Now we have a foot in the door. You know, people didn't want to let us in before. You know, they're not going to take a fight. If Darren Tetley was the English champion at the time, he probably wouldn't have taken the fight. You know, he was a vacant title. He went for a chance. He went for it. You know, and yeah, it was just unfortunate he came up against me.
The Boxing Board of Control have now ordered a fight between yourself and the Midlands area champion Casey Benjamin. But presumably you're looking to progress upwards rather than just defend your title. So where does that leave you? Are you happy to defend it for a while first, or are you looking to move on?
Yeah, I'm happy to. You know what? I'm just happy to fight. You know, it's been throughout the whole COVID, throughout the whole pandemic. I didn't get to fight last year. So it was a whole year to where I fought. It was a whole year before I fought Darren Tetley for my last fight, and I'm happy to defend the title. There's I'm hopefully gonna get a British eliminator, something along those lines, where I think the British champion's been injured, so now they've postponed it. I don't know what's going on, if they're gonna push the fight back, or there's gonna be a cancellation. I'm not too sure, but I would really love a British eliminator fight. So if my next fight could be a British eliminator, it'll be perfect. And to do that and then get the British this year would be absolutely ideal.
Who do you fancy when that British title fight is rescheduled between Chris Jenkins and Echo Esserman?
I haven't watched much of either of them. I've heard probably I think 4 out of 6 of the last fights that Jenkins has had have all been stopped from cuts.
Yeah,
so I'm not too sure. So it's a bit of a sketchy one. I haven't seen much of Osman either, so I could be on the fence here, but either of them I don't mind. I don't really like to watch my opponents anyway before I fight them. So I believe I'm top in Britain, and I'll take on any of them.
Well, talking about British top 10 welterweights, we saw a clash between two unbeaten 147-pounders on Saturday night. Chris Congo falling short against Michael McKinson, who remains unbeaten, got a very high WBO ranking as well. Did you catch that fight?
Yeah, I saw parts of it. I caught it a little bit late, but yeah, I did get to see parts of it.
What did you make of it? Were you impressed by McKinson's victory?
Yeah, I was surprised by it actually. I thought Congo would have got it. I've sparred Congo a few years back, so I know he's a good boxer. And McKinson, I've seen a little bit about him, but I didn't think he'll be able to beat Gris. But surprising he did, and he deserves it, to take a tough fight like that. Apparently not many people are queuing up to fight Chris. So. He done well. I would love to take that belt off him as well. That WBO global. I would love to fight him next year. We'll see what it is. We'll put the referee out there, just so people know. Mikey Mickinson keeps saying people are ducking him. I'm here. I'm gonna put that. We're gonna pick up the phone. We're gonna see what can happen. We'll see if he takes it.
Good stuff. And you mentioned sparring just there with Congo a couple of years ago. What other kind of notable names would we have heard of that you've sparred, and who did you kind of learn more from?
We sparred quite a few people. We sparred in the top 10. Quite a few of the top. We sparred Josh Kelly. We sparred Conor Ben. Sparred Chris Congo, obviously. And that's just to name 3 of the top 10. I think the other guys are probably not so close to London, but we've been traveling around sparring everyone, and I still don't believe I found my level. I still believe I can do better and be better. So anyone in the top 10 you can get. They had Mickinson obviously versus Chris Congo for that WBO global. I'd love to fight for that belt. They had Lewis Crocker. I've never sparred him, but I'm still fighting for that. I think he's got the WBO European.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. There's loads of belts here in England to fight for. There's clashes that can happen, and they shouldn't be so hard to make.
From your experience sparring Conor Ben and Josh Kelly, who do you rate as kind of the best currently of the domestic, shall we say, British welterweights, aside from yourself?
After myself, obviously, I would say Josh Kelly's very skillful. He's very sharp. Unfortunately came up short against Evanation, but Evanation's got a load of experience. He's very experienced. He's fought fighters that have fought for world titles time and time again. So, yeah, I don't think people should write off Josh Kelly just yet. He's going to come back and he's going to do good things. I say Chris Congo is very skillful as well. I think out of the two, out of the top 10, those two, they are they're really good boxers, decent boxers.
And just before we let you go, something we always do when someone's on the channel for the first time, just tell people out there how they can find you on the different social media platforms so they can follow the journey.
All right, yes. So you can find me on Instagram at True Sensation, On Twitter at True Sensation _. You know, if you search up Samuel Antwi, I'm pretty sure you know, some of them will come up on Google. You know, and shout out to my team, Touch Tuina. They do all my physio, my medical side of stuff. My coach, Aaron McLeish, obviously, you know, and everyone behind the scenes, Fight City Gym, Buddha Box Gym, you know, everyone that's been supporting.
Great stuff. We wish you the best of luck. We'll see what happens with your next fight, and maybe we can have another chat when you've got a fight date in the books.
Most definitely.
Good stuff. All right, well, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll speak to you soon.
Same to you. Appreciate it.